This is Mother Monster. Welcome to the Monsterball. Hello little monsters. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I know that this is very old school Lady Gaga, but don't really care about the new stuff she's making. But I still want to meet her. I'll still go to the concerts. Let's not get it twisted. Hi, hello. Welcome to my YouTube video. Thank you for joining me. This might look weird to someone who doesn't like Lady Gaga, but is this a microphone? Is this on? I'm just kidding. I made this. You want to see how I made it? Stay tuned. Also, I made this. It's not just grown from my body. This is a monster claw. This is a disco stick. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. So the very first thing that we are going to be making is the top of the disco stick. Just to kind of start off, I thought that this was going to be based off of her original disco stick, right? It did not turn out being like that. So in my brain, this is what it looked like. So I just kind of like went with that. And then as I started to look at more and more photos of her monster tour, Monsterball, which is what I'm the most obsessed with, I feel like a lot of hardcore Lady Gaga fans are mostly a fan of this era, right? Like, sorry, but not sorry. I do have the Lady Gaga Terry Richardson photo book, which is probably like one of my favorite gifts that I've ever gotten from my dude, so shout out. But also, can I just do like a disclaimer? Terry Richardson, this dude, is a total piece of S. Apparently he is extremely can I say that word? Probably not. So don't support this book anymore. I literally looked through the whole book and I counted how many times he put himself in this effing book. It was 22. No wait, actually 23, because the back is him. Like, come on. Okay, so originally when I thought about this disco stick, right, I kind of thought about how her monster tour, there was like a really big epic one, and I was like, oh, that's so dope. I love it so much. That's totally what I'm going to be doing. So here's an example of her smaller disco stick. You know, it's not really that great. Like, I feel like it was better in all of our heads, right? Okay, the disco stick that I was thinking of, guys. This is it. So in my brain, when I was thinking back on this, we tend to flourish things in a way that is just wrong. And this was wrong. So I thought in my head that this did not look like a molted oval of wax, which is literally what it looks like. Anyways, so as I kind of looked forward, I realized that I modeled this vision in my brain based on one of her dresses, but here is an actual photo replica from the book. So that's what I kind of base this off of. As you will see right now, as I show it to you kind of close up, see, it's just like a bunch of like separate geodes that are all glued together. Greetings, welcome to my garage. It might look like a hostage video without a hostage. It me. This is me cleaning all of the 4-liter milk jugs. I think I have about 12. So just using an X-Acto knife. And then I just have a bucket of soapy water here to throw them all into, because it smells so foul. And make sure you're being careful, guys. Always cut away from you. Oh my god, it smells so bad! Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm doing this outside. Oh god. Okay, so this is what I'm cutting out. I'm cutting off the top because I want the flat edges. I don't need the bottom. And yeah, let's go to the next step. Okay, so essentially what I did after I cut it into very janky pieces from that 4-liter milk bottle, I then cut it into a little bit smaller pieces and I found those flat edges, and I did use a prototype first. So I did make it out of cardboard like not necessarily like a thick cardboard. It was kind of more like a paper stock, like poster vibe that I got from the garbage room at my building. Just continuous fruits that I get from that amazing building of just trash and fruits. I love them. I always recommend making a prototype first if you have limited supplies. And in my mind, I did have limited supplies even though I had 13 4-liter milk jugs. So using the very flattest edge, you're going to use the stencil and you're going to trace that out. And yeah, like really utilize the ones that aren't super warped. I do recommend also soaking them in a bathtub if you're not able to get those stickers off. I didn't necessarily do that in the beginning. Me and my dude, shout out to my dude, he helped me on this. We took off all the stickers, but there was a lot of like that white rough paper left behind that's kind of like underneath the sticker. And then after I cut them all up and I put them in a soapy bath, I soaked them once more after I kind of washed them up in that soapy bath in the garage of hot water. I then brought them into my bathtub, took them all, well first I dumped out the water, okay guys, like don't bring that nasty water into your house. You don't want those foul smells in there. I don't know why I'm talking in this voice, but don't do it. Just keep it outside and just let it seep into the earth, and I'm sure the earth will like it because it's decomposing good vibes for them, but not in the house. So I brought in all of those pieces into a big old bathtub. I soaked it. I put bubble bath in it. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I remember back in the day when I lived in Beausejour in elementary school, and there used to be a stamp club. It was super lit, guys. And in order to get the stamps off, we would soak it in hot water, and wow, that was just riveting in my life. And I was like, oh, look at this stamp. That's how I feel about these stickers coming off, except for I'm like, don't say the stickers, I'm like, die, stickers, die! So yeah, so that's how that happened. So yeah, so you're just gonna wanna cut all of those out. Make sure that it's not super round on the edges wherever you're going to make these edges of the geode, because then they're obviously gonna warp. But it wasn't too bad for me to just like fold them out a little bit, just to make it a little bit straighter. In order to make anything symmetrical, always fold it. So honestly, I just used the cardstock that I had, which is foldable. And yeah, and then I just folded it, and then I just cut a random angle that I thought like, oh yeah, that seems like a good size, why not? And then I folded it, and then I unfolded it, and then we had that flat edge, and then I just measured the bottom line of that, and I traced it onto another piece of cardboard, and that was the bottom edge of my triangle. Cut that out, and then just cut like 2 slits on each side, and then I folded it, and then I just did a random triangle shape, and I did that 3 times. So now I am combining those now kind of rectangular chevron-y shapes together. So I'm taking 2 of them, and then I'm just using some basic masking tape. Also it's clear, so that's important because you want it to just look like, oh, it's just magically together. So yeah, so I'm just taping those together, and I'm putting them like right together, taping the edge, folding it over, magically it's together. And then you want to tape that 3rd one onto the 2 that are going on to make this shape. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take the top 3 triangles that are all the exact same triangle shape, and now we're just gonna tape, you know, each edge together so it makes into a pyramid. You remember this from grade school? A pyramid? You remember that, right? But it has 3 sides, not 4. So yeah, just tape it the same way that I did before with the masking tape. Watching that go through, and if you really want to be the best you that you could be, obviously use some glue. Don't use hot glue, that did not work for me. Use crazy glue. Okay, now we're on to the next part. Okay, now I have made all 4 crystal, chevron-y crystal vibes, and I've now just really loosely taped them together just with like a loop of masking tape just to see like how the shapes are kind of working out. You can definitely just make it like whatever shape you want. Okay, so now I'm just kind of using the spout of the lid of a 4-liter bottle to act as the base in order to screw it onto the staff of my disco stick. And it's gonna fit so perfect inside just like a regular paper towel paper roll. And the lid really does fit like almost perfect. Like it's a little bit smaller, so you just have to get that glue that's just like, you know, like maybe it will be hot glue for this one, you know, if you do have it, or some kind of expanding glue that just kind of like puffs up a little bit, which is the one that I used, which is just like a Gorilla Glue. Okay, now I'm just gonna skip to the next one. Okay, so I've now glued the spout of the 4-liter bottle onto the battery pack, and really make sure that the light switch inside that turns it on and off, make sure that the on and off switch, you see it? So that you can turn it on and off when you unscrew it from the staff. I don't even know how I thought of this, guys. I'm just brilliant. So then I just put some black duct tape in there just to cover all of it, and then I trimmed it so that you weren't able to see it. And then I crazy glued tin foil onto that black duct tape so that it all looked cohesive once I connected this staff. Gluing the staff with the disco stick. So this is where I'm just gonna put the lid of the 4-liter bottle inside. I'm gonna glue that up, then I'm gonna put some tin foil on it. All good to go. And I use the Gorilla Glue that does expand a little bit, so it kind of foams up so it fills up that gap. Okay, so then you're just gonna put all of the tin foil, glue that on top of all the black tape, and then glue it all over the staff of your disco stick. And then maybe you want to put something cool on the bottom, which I kind of regret not doing. Thank you for watching Mother Monster show you how to make your very own disco stick. I feel like a porn star.